Welcome to position 8 of the Complete Endgame course. In this position, which is related to the similar position 7, we could see that initially you want to evaluate if we can get this pawn to queen before the king can reach it. And we're going to use the rule of the square, which when you move this here, you want to basically form a square around the pawn and see if the black king can enter it. And we can quickly see that once we advance this pawn, the black king can enter the square, and so he will stop white from queening. If we play it out here, we can see that, well, it's all done. Alright, so we know that doesn't work. If it's white to move, this position is a win because white can get in front of his pawn. Now this is a very important thing to understand. So you want to keep black from preventing you from getting in front of your pawn. So if we play it out like this, white just simply maintains the space until he's in front of his pawn. Now the reason for this is because you want to be able to outflank black. And so at this point, black has to move to either side. For example, if he moves to this side, then we advance our king. If we move to the other side, we'd go here. And this is how you outflank black. You maintain the opposition, and when you've done that, then you can start advancing your pawn. So as you can see, white is in front of his pawn, and because of that, he can outflank black. Now, black is trying to prevent him from queening, but at this point he can't. So you can see from this position, for example, if white played here, it would be a huge mistake, because now it would actually be a draw, because black would prevent white from getting in front of his pawn. And now he would just simply sit, and eventually it would be a draw, because we'll play it out here, because it would be a stalemate. Now if white checks, that's stalemate. Alright, we'll look at this position from black to move, which is actually a draw. Alright, with black to move, this is a position we already analyzed pretty much just a second ago, except we don't need to rely on a mistake from white here, because black will just simply force white to stay back, and white won't be able to get in front of his pawn. So it's the same position that we already analyzed. If we just play it out, we see that white pushes black back, and pretty much all black has to do is just shuffle between these two squares along here, and there's no way for white to get in front of his pawn. And as noted before, that's why if white moves to b2 instead of forward, keeping black away, keeping black along this rank, that black can basically keep white back. And it's important to remember from this position that the main point is you want to get your king, the white king, in front of his pawn so that he can outflank black either by here or here once he's in front of it. Alright, so we know that from this initial position that white, because of the rule of the square, we can quickly evaluate that white can't simply push his pawn. And so we've evaluated that in order to queen our pawn, we need to either outflank black, or if we can't do that, then it'll just be a draw. So that's why we study these simple endgames, in order to gain these simple understandings, so that if you were going to trade from a more complicated position, you'd be able to quickly evaluate whether you can actually force a win or if it's just a draw. And you'll see that's what strong players know automatically. They know these basics so well that they can just look at it and both players know how to play out because of that. Alright, so leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these endgame lessons, specifically this one. Position 9 will be coming up shortly, and I'm excited to get into that one as well.